Luxport Motor Group at 100 Gordon Drive in Syosset, New York. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the 2019 Mercedes Benz CLA 45 AMG. Now, this car has a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that's good for 375 horsepower. And today, we're going to be taking a detailed tour, drive, and look at this car. And hopefully, you learn something about the CLA 45 AMG that you didn't know before clicking on this video. CLA 45 AMG carries along with it one of the most aggressive 4-cylinder exhaust notes that I've ever heard in my entire life. Now this car, the way it sounds, the way it looks, it's very, very deceiving, but when you're behind the wheel of it, you truly feel all the 375 horsepower that is packed into this little tiny sedan. This CLA 45 AMG happens to be finished in a polar silver paint job. It is finished with black wheels and a black interior. On the inside of the CLA 45, you can clearly tell immediately that you're not behind the wheel of a regular CLA. As you can see, you have some nice AMG badging here on the steering wheel, as well as the carpet and the floor, and all around this car, basically, once you step in, you're easily able to distinguish the difference between this car and the CLA 250 model. Now, as you can see here, you have a nice little knob here to switch between driving modes. You have Sport Plus, Sport, Comfort, and Individual. And as you're cycling between those modes, they actually are shown here on the 8-inch infotainment system that you have. Only thing I will say is that this is not a touchscreen, so everything that you want to operate has to be done either from here on the dash here with all the controls, or your center console options with the knob here. Overall, it's very simple, very easy to use, and not something that I would typically consider a reason not to buy this car. The infotainment system works great, and it's super quick. Now, for as small as the CLA 45 is, it actually does offer a decent amount of storage space. So if you check here in the glove compartment, you actually do have a pretty decent amount of room to go ahead and put some smaller things if you really needed to. You also have this nice little center console here for maybe a phone, wallet, keys, anything else that you might need to store inside your CLA 45. As well as this small little pocket here that serves as a charging station for maybe your phone or something along those lines. And the trunk is also big as well, so we'll go take a look at that. Now, as I just mentioned, the trunk space in the CLA 45 AMG is actually pretty good. For the size of the car overall, you really do have a lot of trunk room back here. You can actually fit a decent amount back here. This is a total grocery getter if you really want to have a 375 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder engine and also go grab groceries or something else at the store maybe. This is definitely the car to do it in. I mean, it's super fun, super convenient, and definitely comfortable to drive. To start up the CLA 45 AMG, you just want to make sure that you have your key on you ready to go. And you want to hit this start button here to the right of the steering wheel. And that will fire up the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that's inside of this CLA 45. You know, just because the CLA 45 AMG might be one of the more lower end models when it comes to the AMG line of maybe the C63 or the higher end models like the S65 AMG and all of those higher end AMG models, this definitely falls a little bit towards the lower end. However, all of the parts and components are shared. Everything that's in the higher end models was definitely implemented into this car as far as the steering wheel, the gauges, all the buttons and switches, and you really truly do feel like you're in a proper AMG. One thing that's absolutely certain inside and outside the CLA 45 AMG is the feeling and differentiation between the driving modes of the car. So what you feel like in comfort is entirely different from what you'll feel in Sport or Sport Plus. The exhaust note changes, the driving experience changes, the suspension drops, and all of these different elements come into play when you cycle between the driving modes that truly make for a different driving experience through each mode. Now, that's something that's super special overall, should be really implemented into all sports cars nowadays. However, Mercedes does a great job at changing all the driving modes and changing the way that you feel when you're in them. Overall, if you're shopping for a car that's in the ballpark range of about $50,000 or so, definitely consider the 2019 Mercedes Benz CLA 45 AMG. Not only is it a sedan that you could put your entire family in, although it's pretty small, it definitely offers a lot of storage room, and this is a car that you can actually also take out onto the track if you wanted to, thanks to its 375 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder. Now, overall, the driving experience, the exterior design, the interior features, all of that combined into one package truly make a special car. And I'd like to thank again my friend Lance over at Luxport Motor Group for allowing me to take this car out today, experience it, learn about it, and inform you guys about this car. And hopefully you learned something about this car that you didn't know before watching this video today.